Om Shanti. Today is 6th August 2023 and we shall listen to the Avyakt versions of Avyakt Bapdada. These Avyakt versions were spoken by Avyakt Bapdada on 31st March 1995. And this was the first time when Avyakt Bapdada descended in Shantivan, and it was like an experiment done that the whole gathering gathered in a tent and Baba also came there. So the title of today's Murli is The Gifts of the Mela of Meeting God are the crown, the throne and the tilak. Today the unlimited Father is seeing all of you children in your unlimited form. Around 13,000 to 14,000 brothers and sisters had gathered for the first time. So Baba is saying that today the unlimited Father is seeing all of you children in your unlimited form. The Father is unlimited and all of you are also unlimited masters and also children. Bap Dada is pleased to see all the loving and cooperative children. And the children are also happy to see the Father. Does the Father have greater happiness or do the children? What would you say? Both. Baba says both. This is known as the Mela of Meeting God. Many melas take place, but the melas of meeting God only takes place at the confluence age. They cannot take place at any other time throughout the cycle. It is happening now and it will happen again. So after that, Bap Dada's program started in Shantivan. So Bap Dada says, it is happening now and it will happen again. All of you are enjoying the Mela, are you not? Bap Dada is pleased to see the fortune of the children. And he sings the song in his heart, Vaha children, Vaha. Because everyone had done so much of efforts in bringing up this huge tent where Bap Dada came. So Bap Dada sings the song in his heart, Vaha children, Vaha. You never dreamt of this fortune. You never even thought of this fortune. But you are now experiencing elevated fortune practically. The line of elevated fortune is sparkling on the forehead of each one of you. Baba is seeing the line of elevated fortune on the forehead of all the children everywhere. All of you are sparkling stars, are you not? You have this elevated fortune of yours in your awareness, do you not? Why is this fortune elevated? Baba is seeing the elevated fortune of all the children. And Baba gives the explanation why this fortune is elevated. Because all of you, fortunate souls, have taken a divine Brahmin birth through the bestower of fortune. Baba is the bestower of fortune. The Father is called the bestower of fortune, and Brahma is also called a bestower of fortune. Both are called the bestower of fortune. So Baba says, the births of all of you have taken place through Bap Dada. Both are the bestower of fortune. the fortune of someone whose father is the bestower of fortune himself would be so elevated. That is why our fortune is elevated. You are celebrating a meeting with God, are you not? Then Baba, seeing the double foreigners, speaks to them. You are also celebrating. It is very good. If the double foreigners were not present in the unlimited Mela, it would not be an unlimited Mela. So all of you also have such special parts that the Father and all the children are pleased to see you. Bap Dada and the whole family is pleased to see the double foreigners in the unlimited Mela. Therefore, the number one fortune is to take a birth through the bestower of fortune. This is the number one fortune. As well as this, throughout the cycle, from the golden age to the iron age, has anyone ever received in any birth the fortune of having the Supreme Soul as the Father, the Teacher, and the Satguru, and also the one who fulfills the responsibility of all relationships? Baba says throughout the whole cult, nobody has had this fortune of having the Supreme Soul as the Father, the Teacher, and the Satguru, and the one who fulfills the responsibility of all relationships. You have received it now. However, you say with faith and intoxication that the one who is sustaining you is the Supreme Soul. People of the world just say that God is their sustainer, whereas you say from your practical experience that God is your Father and that He is your sustainer. He is sustaining you. Do you have this intoxication? Or do you sometimes forget it a little? Bap Dada says that seeing this fortune and having the practical experience that God is your sustainer, do you have this intoxication? What happens is that while moving along, you consider your elevated fortune to be ordinary. It is elevated, but you consider it to be ordinary. So, because of thinking it to be ordinary, the sparkle of intoxication and happiness that you should constantly have, that you shouldn't forget for even a second, disappears. Because you have found the Father and know that He belongs to you and that you also belong to Him, you take it for granted. He does belong to you. Since He belongs to you, you should have this intoxication. You should have this spiritual intoxication. You do have it, but it is sometimes elevated, sometimes of the middle level, and sometimes ordinary. Just think, our Father is the Supreme Soul. Then Baba says, is the Supreme Teacher as well. So as a Father, He is the sustainer. And we all have this intoxication and we have the practical experience also. So this is also an elevated fortune. Secondly, Baba says, the Supreme Soul is also directly your teacher. What teachings has He given you? What has He made you? Trinetri, Trikaldarshi, and Trilokinath. These are the three things that He has given us and He has made us. Trinetri, Trikaldarshi, and Trilokinath. Does anyone else study for such an education? Until now, have you ever heard of this degree? You know of the degrees of becoming a judge, a barrister, a doctor, or an engineer. But have you heard of the degree of becoming Trilokinath, that is, the master of the three worlds, Trikaldarshi, the knower of the three aspects of time, and Trinetri, having the third eye of wisdom and knowledgeful? So Baba says, have you heard of the degree of becoming Trilokinath, Trikaldarshi, Trinetri, and knowledgeful? Has anyone from the copper age through to the iron age ever received it? Did you receive it? You have also taken 63 births. Neither has anyone received it, nor will anyone receive it. Such is your teacher. No matter how many experiments scientists undertake, they still cannot reach Trilok. They can reach up till the moon or the Mars, but they cannot be or reach the three worlds. So Baba says, no matter how many experiments scientists undertake, they still cannot reach Trilok. They cannot attain the knowledge of all three worlds. Whereas, even a 5-year-old child amongst you gives the knowledge of the three worlds. He would also say with intoxication, yes, there is the subtle region and the incorporeal world. So the Supreme Soul is also the teacher. He enabled you to attain this degree with his elevated teachings. So Baba has given us or made us Trikaldarshi, Trilokinath, and Trinetri and knowledgeful. Such is our teacher. And Baba says, he has given you this degree and his elevated teachings. No scientist is able to go beyond, understand about the subtle world or the incorporeal world. However, the greatest status in the world is the ruling status. Therefore, you also receive that status by studying. So, he has made you into kings. Are you a king, or do you still have to become one? It is only through education that a person receives a high status and have this understanding of how to rule the world. So Baba says, you are a king and yet you are sitting on the floor. You don't even have a solid building. You are sitting in tents. Just Baba is saying in a humorous way. So just see, the most elevated status is the ruling status. So you are a self-sovereign at this time, and you also have to become a world ruler in the future. This is firm, is it not? Who has to rule? Or will another king rule over you? No. All of you will become kings. All of you will rule. So have you also prepared your subjects, or will you rule over yourself? Therefore, just look at your fortune. The Supreme Soul is your teacher, the one who gives you the ruling status. He gives us the knowledge of the three worlds, the three aspects of time, and the third eye of wisdom. And together with that, he is the one who also gives us the ruling status. Then, as the Satguru, what does the Guru do? So the Father is the sustainer, As a teacher, he gives the most elevated teachings. And then, as the Satguru, what does a guru do? He gives you a mantra. So, what mantra did the Satguru give you? Mantra is Man Mana Bhav. You received the great mantra from the Satguru. And together with the mantra is also given us blessings. So Baba says, you received the great mantra from the Satguru and you also received all blessings. How many blessings have you received? Look at your list of blessings. It is so long. You receive a blessing every day. Every day after the Murli, there is blessing for today. So Baba says, you receive a blessing every day. You have been receiving them from so long. Baba says, you have been receiving them for so long. No guru can give as many blessings to his followers. Have you ever seen such a guru as the Satguru who gives you a blessing every day? You have this intoxication now, do you not? Everyone said yes. So Baba says, very good. Constantly keep it with you. Let it not be that your intoxication begins to reduce as soon as you get into the bus from here. Let it constantly continue to increase. Bap Dada constantly wishes to see each child as number one in every subject. So, are you number one? Or do you still have to become that? Baba wishes to see each and every child number one in every subject. So Baba says, are you number one? Or do you still have to become that? Say with intoxication, if I don't become this, who would? You double foreigners have double intoxication. Do you not? It is good. Baba says, you have double intoxication. The Father is also pleased that each child of his is a crown prince, not part of the subjects. The subjects are to come later. All of you are still lucky that you have a chance to have this meeting. Baba says, you still are very lucky that you have a chance to have this meeting. What does it matter if you have to stay in a tent? At least you are not sleeping in the dust. You are sleeping on mattresses. You are receiving good Brahma Bhojan, not that filled with dust. You eat with love, do you not? There will be some difficulties. There have to be. Baba says, there will be some difficulties and there have to be. Why? The game between Maya and God takes place at the same time. If you have a Mela with God, Maya will also definitely create a Jamela, that is, a chaos. So, this is a game between Maya and God. So, if you have a Mela with God, Maya will also definitely create a Jamela. Your duty is to have a Mela, and her duty is to create a Jamela. So, you had a Jamela and also a Mela. Because during those days there was a great storm and many tents just flew away, and there was rain also. So someone said that there was a storm here. Baba says that does not matter. This is the storm. This is the storm of intense speed of your efforts, and that is a physical storm. You were not afraid of what happened, were you? No. Whether storms come or rain comes, no matter how much fluctuation there is, your minds are unshakable, are they not? Whatever may come, Baba says, you have to stabilize in the stage of being unshakable. You mothers are not afraid, are you? The tents have blown away. What shall we do? Baba says, did you have this thought? That the tents have blown away? What shall we do? Were you a little afraid, wondering what was going to happen? And whether your health would be okay or not? No matter what it is, there is less stumbling and effort than in devotion. On the path of devotion, there is so much of stumbling and effort. But here, no matter what it is, there is less stumbling and effort than in devotion. Is there not? So, did you enjoy this Mela? Or were you afraid seeing the Jamela, the chaos? Was no one afraid? One or two must have been afraid. Baba knows. So Baba says, one or two must have been afraid. You are enjoying yourselves, are you not? Should we continue this Mela for another 2 days? Baba says, should we continue this Mela for 2 more days? Acha. Bap Dada also tours around and sees the Jamela of Maya. He sees the games of what the children are doing and what Maya is doing. Bap Dada is pleased to see the love of your children. Your love has created this Mela. Baba says, your love has created this Mela. There is the love of the Father, there is the love of your children. What happens when both come together? When the love of the Father and the love of the children, when both come together, what happens? It becomes a Mela. The scene is so enjoyable. From the stage, Baba was looking at the scene, and so Baba says the scene is so enjoyable. Did you ever think that you would find such a huge family? Who would have such a large family? How many homes do you have? So someone said, one. Then Baba said, how many service places do you have? Then they said, countless. So that is also Baba's home, is it not? Baba's home is your home. People say that you make people leave their homes, whereas you have actually created so many homes that you are not able to count them. You have to remember all of them. So this is not leaving your home, but creating more homes. Then what else do people say? Did you leave your family? Or did you extend your family so much that it is difficult even to meet everyone? Can all the Brahmins, however many there are, meet in one place? It would be difficult, would it not? This is because it is someone else's kingdom, it is not your kingdom. However, you have found the Father and an unlimited family. So, by remembering the unlimited, you have unlimited happiness and unlimited intoxication. Now, when we remember the unlimited Father, the happiness is also unlimited and the intoxication is also unlimited. If you look at it in a limited way, thinking, I am from this country, I am from this zone, that is limited. However, you just say that in name in order to identify yourself. Baba says just for identification, this is said, that this is your zone, or this is this zone, this place, but you consider yourself to be of the unlimited, do you not? You have to observe the disciplines, yes. This was the most important part, because being in a huge gathering of 13,000, 14,000 people, there were some disciplines that were observed. So Baba says, you have to observe the disciplines. Some even think, what is this that you will only get food when you put on a badge? They create trouble over the meals, do they not? However, you have to do this because there is benefit in following the regulations. This is not a bondage, but a means to make you free from obstacles where there are obstacles. Baba says it is a means to make you free from obstacles. It is not a bondage. Do not think, what is this new system? Your thoughts reach the Father. However, you are the ones who are Maryada Purushottam. That means ones who follow the most elevated codes of conduct. So Baba says, however, you are the ones who are Maryada Purushottam, the ones who follow the most elevated code of conduct. Or are just the senior Dadis Maryada Purushottam, and you are free from that? So to be Maryada Purushottam means to be one who follows all the Maryadas and stays within the line of conduct, does not come out from the line of conduct. The lesson of Haji is made firm, is it not? When something happens, are you able to say Haji? Or do you even say Naji? When something happens, then from saying Haji, you become so firm in Naji that even if the Father were to tell you something, you would not listen to him. It's not like that. When the little children came at the beginning of establishment in the hostel, in order to make this lesson firm for them, Bap Dada always used to say no means to be an atheist, and to say yes means to be a theist. So who are all of you? Are you atheist? Or are you theist? Baba says, so who are all of you? Are you theist? You are not atheist, are you? Do you sometimes become those atheists? You play games. Baba says it is just playing a game. You have become knowledgeful of Maya. Now, here Baba has mentioned something very beautiful. You have become knowledgeful of Maya because Maya is also knowledgeful. We have to become knowledgeful of Maya. Why? Because Maya is also knowledgeful. Maya is knowledgeful in what? So Baba says, Maya is knowledgeful in making you fall, and you are knowledgeful in flying. So Maya also sees when your flying fluctuates a little, and when she sees that, she attacks you. When she sees that you're fluctuating in your flying stage, and as the moment she sees that, she attacks you. However, because you are knowledgeful, you know beforehand, and so you are not defeated. You are garlanded with a garland of victory. Is there a garland of victory around everyone's neck, or do you sometimes take it off? Acha, are those sitting at the back enjoying themselves? This is all Madhuban's area, is it not? And so, can such a huge Mela take place anywhere else except in Madhuban? It cannot, can it? So, Madhuban is your unlimited home. Baba says, Madhuban is your unlimited home. Here, everything is unlimited, whereas everything has to be considered everywhere else. Here, when you have a thought, it happens practically. So each of you has arrived at the godly Mela through your own fortune. All of those who have come here for the first time in this cycle, raise your hands. And in a gathering of nearly 13 to 14,000, the majority were new brothers and sisters. It is good. You are seeing all of this on the TV. So Baba says, look, the majority of the facilities of science have been invented recently. A few years ago, these facilities of science did not exist. For whom they have been invented? For you. Bap Dada is congratulating the scientist that they have made these facilities of science for us children. So Bap Dada is congratulating the scientist because Baba's children are experiencing happiness from this and they look so good. Everyone had headphones. So Bap Dada was looking at that and he says, everyone looks so good. However, what does Bap Dada wish now? What does Bap Dada wish now? What is Baba's desire? How many years has it been since establishment? Baba is signaling time. You are now making preparations for celebrating the Diamond Jubilee. Bap Dada has called all of you children Crown Prince. All of you are kings. A king is seated on a throne, is he not? So all of you are Crown Prince. The signs of a kingdom are crown, a throne, and a tilak. The signs of a kingdom are a crown, a throne, and a tilak. Therefore, this year, whether you are new or old, the time for completion is close. The time for completion is close for the new ones as well as the old. Do not think that you will also perhaps get 60 years. No, you have to make up that time. If you have come last, you have to go fast. However, whether you are new or old, the time for completion and becoming perfect is the same for all. So, how do we do that? Baba says, I am a self sovereign soul. Have this tilak of awareness applied. Baba says, I am a self sovereign soul. The tilak of this awareness is constantly applied. It is not that it is sometimes erased and sometimes applied. No. To be a ruler means to have a tilak. The tilak of this awareness should remain eternally on you. It should not be ordinary. I am one who has a tilak. I am wearing the crown of responsibility of a world benefactor. So the tilak of self-awareness and then the crown of responsibility of a world benefactor. The world is so large and all of you are world benefactors. The Father is not this alone. The Father is not just world benefactor alone. As well as with the Father, each one of you is this. Each one. has to have the responsibility of being a world benefactor. So you are the ones who have the crown of responsibility of world benefit and are constantly seated on the Father's heart throne. So we have the tilak of self awareness, then the crown of responsibility of being a world benefactor, and are also constantly seated on the Father's heart throne. Baba says, do not ever come down. Constantly be seated on the throne. Generally, parents do not allow their beloved, most loved children to go into the dust. They do not let them to step on the ground. So you are all so beloved. Or are there others to come? No, you are those. Baba says, you are those. So do not get off the throne of Bapdada's heart and put your feet on the ground of having an ordinary form and ordinary thoughts. Let the feet of the intellect always be seated on the throne. You are the children of the Supreme Father. You are not children of some Mahatma or Dharmatma, but of Paramatma. All of you have very good intoxication at the moment. It is visible and it will remain eternally, will it not? Or will it remain for a little while and you will then battle and gain victory? It is not like that, is it? Are you Brahmins or warriors? You are Brahmins, you are not warriors. Do you battle? Or do you sometimes become a Brahmin and sometimes a warrior? If you have to battle with Maya, you can then understand that you are a warrior. To be a Brahmin means to be victorious, and to be a warrior means to battle. Bap Dada sometimes has a lot of compassion for some of the children. You sit down to have yoga and then battle at that time. Baba says, you sit down for remembrance and then you have to battle at that time. You say that you had yoga for 1 hour, but for how long did you battle in that 1 hour? And for how long did you have yoga? If you do not experience anything for any reason, it is definitely the stage of battling. If we do not experience anything, that means we were battling. Bap Dada says that you are yogi children, but that you become warriors instead. For how long will you battle? Baba is asking, for how long will you battle? Till the end? Will you battle till the end? Should Baba give you permission to battle? Do you want this permission? Do you not want it? In that case, why do you battle? You become so weak, and the Maya makes you so dependent that you battle even when you don't want to. So Baba says, Maya makes you so dependent that you battle even when you don't want to. Baba gives an example. Some servants are very innocent, and so some masters make them subservient. For something that the servant is not able to do, the master would still ask him to do it. He says, why else do you have a job here? So Maya also does the same. You do not want this, but because of being weak, you have to remain subservient on Maya. At that time, are you yogis or warriors? You cannot be called yogis. So Bap Dada wishes each child to become a yogi child, not a child who battles. Bap Dada does not like to see the children laboring in battling. You are the godly children who constantly stay in enjoyment and pleasure, not those who have to labor in battling. So, what will you become? Yogi children or warrior children? Will you become yogis, or do you also like to battle a little? At the moment, you are saying, yes, yes, we want to become yogis. Huh? But when you say this, a photograph is being taken. So this year, let everyone's chart be one of being a ruler, finish subseverance. Acha, to all the souls from every direction in this land and abroad who are observing this scene in their subtle form, to the souls who are sustained by the elevated sustenance, and those who are claiming a ruling status through the most elevated study, to the souls who attain all blessings from the Satguru, to the constantly victorious souls who are the conquerors of Maya, to the most elevated souls who have stopped constantly battling and are stabilized in the stage of being Raj Yogi souls. Bap Dada's love, remembrances, and namaste. Bap Dada's blessing for us children today is, may you be a true server and do subtle service at a fast speed by paying attention to being in solitude while remaining stable and concentrated. I repeat, may you be a true server and do subtle service at a fast speed by paying attention to being in solitude while remaining stable and concentrated. In order to serve souls of the unlimited world while at a distance, your mind and intellect have to be constantly free. Do not keep your mind and intellect busy in trivial, ordinary matters. In order to do subtle service at a fast speed, pay special attention to being in solitude and remaining stable and concentrated. Even while busy, take a moment or two to experience solitude. Although the external situation may be of upheaval, concentrate your mind and intellect on the depths of one in a second whenever you want. You will then be able to become a true server and an instrument to do unlimited service. Today's slogan is, a Jnani soul understands all the secrets of this knowledge and performs actions while Rajayoga, that is, knower of all secrets, Yukti Yukt, tactful, and Yogyukt. I repeat, a Jnani soul understands all the secrets of this knowledge and performs actions while Rajayoga, knower of all secrets, Yukti Yukt, tactful, and Yogyukt. Rajayoga, Yukti Yukt, Yogyukt. Acha, Om Shanti.